What's up, YouTube? Heretic here. I'm coming at you live from the final day of the United States Intercontinental Championship. So, Tord won the main event with Grandpa Garb. Okay, cool. I'd like to say congrats to him, though, however. So, anyway, the deck I'm going over is the Gardevoir-GX deck that you guys saw me play. And we're gonna go ahead and start out here. This is Worlds format, so 4 Ralts. This particular Ralts will not have rotated until post-Worlds, so whatever. You just replace it with the new one when rotation happens. So 4 Ralts, 2 Kirlia, just again, to help evolve. 4 Gardevoir-GX. Now, if you don't know what this does, Gardevoir-GX has an ability called Secret Spring that lets you once per turn attach a fairy energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And then its attacks, its first attack, Infinite Force, for 1 fairy, does 30 damage times the amount of energy attached to both itself and your opponent's active Pokemon. It's kind of like Mega Mewtwo. And then the GX attack shuffles 10 cards from your discard pile back into your deck, so fuck Trash Avalanche. Shuffle all your items back in. Then we also play 1 Gallade, just because we can. Premonition is an amazing ability, letting you rearrange the top 5 cards of your deck. And then Sensitive Blade is really good against like Darkrai and stuff like that, obviously. Drampa, so it just hits stuff for fighting weakness, super good. We got 2 Tapu Leles, another backup attacker, easy to accelerate energy onto with Gardevoir, and then just that and double colorless. And of course Search for Supporter, because that's what you play it for. We've got a 2-1 Octillery line as well. The combination of Premonition and Abyssal Hand is just stupidly good. That's the reason that Gallade Octillery was a deck in the first place. We don't run Mallow, so we don't have that part of the combo, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, and you just Premonition and then, Abyssal Hand, like, it's crazy. So that's really good. 4 Sycamores, as we'll start our supporters here, and 3 Ends, just draw supporters. And then we have 2 Guzma and 1 Lysander. We run Fairy Garden here, so the switch back from Guzma is really not that bad, not that big of a deal, and it functions as both Olympia and Lysander, which is really nice. So that's why I'm like kind of more partial to Guzma right now, especially in this deck, as opposed to Lysander. In case we don't have the Fairy Garden out, or we don't have a Fairy Energy wherever, like if Octillery gets Lysandered out, we can get it out of the active spot that way, which is really nice. Or we can just kind of switch between attackers. Then we have 1 Skyla, just get like rare candy and stuff, just consistency for our stage 2s and getting them set up. 1 Bridget for first turns, just to get all of Ralts, and usually 2 Ralts and a Remoraid down. And 1 Kukui just for math. It's really good, especially with Gallade. If you choice ban, you Kukui, and you hit 180. It's super good. 2 Fairy Gardens, Stadium of Choice, free retreat with fairy types, really good. And we have 3 Versus Seekers. I'd like to play 4, but space is a thing, so yeah. And then we have 4 rare candies. We play 5 stage 2s, but obviously, unless you like Super Rod or whatever, you're not going to get them all back in one game. So, or get them all in one game, but that's fine. It's like consistency.
We have Kirlia.
Yeah, you have Kirlia, and you have like Super Rod and Rescue Stretcher and Gardevoir's GX attack, so yeah. Then 4 Ultra Balls. Again, pretty self-explanatory. 1 Level Ball, you can search out Octillery, Remoraid, Ralts, Kirlia, plenty of targets, 9 total, definitely worth it. 1 Rescue Stretcher and 1 Super Rod for recovery. And then we have 1 Field Blower, because Garbotoxin is really, really annoying with this. We have so many abilities between Gardevoir-GX, Gallade, Lele, Octillery, so you just want to be able to use your abilities as frequently as possible. And 2 choice bands, damage modifiers, super good, obviously. 4 double colorless, since Gardevoir counts all energy attached to itself and the opponent's active, so you can just like, as long as you have 1 fairy energy to fulfill the attack cost, you can just start stacking double colorless after that. Also really good synergy with Gallade and Lele. And then we have 8 basic fairy energies, to be able to continue to use Gardevoir's ability to accelerate more and more energy onto the board and get really big attacks off with itself and Lele. So that is Gardevoir-GX Gallade. It's the return of Gardevoir-Gallade, everybody. So this is a super fun deck to play. I absolutely love it. I think it's got pretty good matchups around the board. Pretty solid Zoroark matchup. You just play a couple less things down on your bench early game, I feel like, and you have a really effective Garb matchup just because you can use the GX attack to shuffle all your items back into the deck. You just have to be careful of Espeon, which can kind of mess you up. So there's that. A really good Darkrai matchup. Gallade just goes right through it. And it's pretty solid like elseways around the board. So definitely an interesting pick for Worlds, I feel like. I'm not sure if people will be ballsy enough to play it, but hopefully somebody does. So that's Gardevoir Gallade. That's what I have for you today, and we will be back with more future format deck profiles here soon. Cheers! Deck I'm going over is the Espeon,